Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show. I'm Mike Radomski. It's time now for the player's perspective as we're joined by Otters pitcher Chad Edwards. Chad, first off, thanks for joining us. Tell us about your outing the last time against the Southern Illinois Miners.
You know, it's a team I've had pretty good success against this year. That's the third time I've thrown against them, and I think 2 runs is the most earned runs they've actually received off me during a game. And, you know, I felt pretty confident going into the game, knew how to throw their hitters, knew which ones could do damage to me. And they just made them put the ball in play and did what I've been doing against them in the past.
How helpful is it that you've already faced them going into another appearance?
You know, that's always real helpful. Like I said, you know, you learn the hitters, you learn what they want and what they don't want. And then you know whether to, you know, pitch them straight up or pitch them backwards and stuff like that. And so, you know, in a way, it's kind of both for the pitcher and the hitter, though. You know, you've seen them, they've seen you, so you know you kind of switch things up just a little bit, but you kind of stick to the same plan that you went with before.
What was it like having an early lead on a leadoff home run from your shortstop, Marcel Champagny?
Oh, that's always a good thing to get. You know, it gets the momentum of the team going, gets everything going in the right direction for you, gives you a chance to go out, just throw strikes, and not really have to worry about making, you know, spectacular pitches all the way throughout the game.
And Stephen Head proved to be troublesome for you. What did you think of your performance against him?
You know, he's one of those hitters that, you know, you always kind of have to watch out for because he's got great power to all sides of the field. And if he picks out a pitch that he likes, he'll do what he did to mine. And that was a 1-0 changeup that I threw. It was a good pitch, but one of the guys was talking to him at first base after he hit that solo home run in the 7th. And I guess he was kind of expecting that changeup because that's kind of what we'd done to him in the past. And so he said he was setting on it. So he definitely acted like he was anyhow.
And that was a tie ball game at 2-2 to that point. What emotions were running through your body when you saw the ball hit in the air?
As soon as he hit it, I knew he got a good piece of it, and I didn't even really watch it. I just turned around and asked the umpire for another ball and stood back up there and threw to the next guy, you know.
Chad Edwards joining us here on the Player's Perspective. Let's start to talk about your whole season because you started at Middle Tennessee State, then you went on over to Evansville. If you look big picture, how do you describe it all?
You know, everything's gone real well for me this year. You know, I had a great final season down there at Middle Tennessee State. You know, ended up with an 8-2 record, pretty good ERA, and, you know, helped my team out a lot down there. And then I come here and start out what it was a rough start here. That first start I had against River City, I gave up a grand slam and then a 2-run after that. And, you know, it kind of got me down a little bit, but, you know, that's basically I did the same thing when I was down there at school this year. Started off with a rough outing and then came back and it was smooth sailing after that, and it kind of seems to be the norm for me, which I'm not saying I'm really proud of it, but, you know, digging yourself out of a hole is never an easy thing to do, but, you know, I finally settled down and felt like, you know, I've helped out pretty well here.
What have been some of the keys to your success with the Otters?
You know, just getting the confidence of all the guys and finally figuring out your catcher. To me, having a good catcher is a big thing, and me and Billy and even me and Smythe have worked really well the times that we've thrown this year. And, you know, Billy loves catching me, and I love throwing to him. We usually work on the same page a lot. Very rarely do I shake him off. And, you know, he knows that when he wants a pitch in or anything like that, that he can count on me to, you know, put it where he wants it. So it really makes it easy on him to call and makes it easy for me to throw to him because, you know, once you get working together with the, you know, pitcher-catcher thing, everything goes pretty smooth.
And when you were out of college, you were actually unsigned. There were no teams out there calling you. Then you go to the Otters, you have a tryout. What kept your confidence up?
You know, I had coaches down there at school and a lot of people, you know, saying that, you know, you've got the stuff to keep going on. You know, the season that you had, you got to keep pushing on, keep trying. And, you know, like I said, you know, I ended up on a huge note down there at Middle Tennessee. You know, I threw a complete game shutout in the elimination game of our conference tournament. And after coming off such a high like that, I wasn't ready to, you know, just give it up. You know, I told myself, you know, I got to keep going. I got to keep trying. And, you know, it was tough going through stuff and trying to figure out what I had to do to get on a team, where to try out and stuff like that. And I actually kind of got lucky hearing about the tryout here for the Otters from Travis Lamar and some of the guys that I played with summer ball a few years ago because I had no idea that tryout was going on until the day before it happened. So, you know, it was kind of a last-minute thing for me to come try out, even though, you know, I was looking for stuff like that. But, you know, they close to home, something like that. It was pretty easy decision for me.
Mike Radomski with Chad Edwards on the Evansville Otters pregame show. You have one more start left this season. What are you looking forward to there?
It's been a long year for me. Like I said, I threw 80-something innings in college, and I'm pushing that now here with the Otters. And anytime you throw that many innings during the season, your body and your arm kind of get worn down. And these last few have been going on short rest, which it's been a little tough. Taking a little bit longer to get loose and stuff like that before games. But this last start, I'm just going to go out and I've got a little something to prove to River City, since I did have such a rough start here, my first start as an Otter. But just going to go out and do what I've been doing, not try to stress over anything big, and try to finish up the season on a high note.
And the off season is around the corner. What are you going to be doing when baseball is done in a couple days?
It's still kind of a toss-up, but more than likely I'm going to be staying in Evansville. I've got some good friends there in Evansville, and they're going to let me stay with them. I want to stay there, try to get a job, and hopefully figure out what I'm going to do next season. May end up back here with the Otters. Just like, I'm new to all this stuff, so I really don't know what's going to go on, what happens. I still got to talk to Andy and them about how the off season does go with trying to get with the team next year.
And lastly, if the Otters do invite you back, would you come back to Evansville?
Probably so.
Chad, thanks again. Best of luck at the end of the year and in the offseason as well.
I appreciate it, Mike.
That was Chad Edwards, the Otters pitcher. We'll be right back on the Evansville Otters pregame show right after this.